Welcome back, it's me Lou, and I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today we are looking at this, the Avengers Mech Strike Thanos. So this is a big boy package. It's much larger than the previous mech suits that we've gotten, and so far we've gotten Captain America and his ultimate mech suit, and Iron Man in his ultimate mech suit. And what we're looking at here is Thanos and his mech suit. One thing you'll notice is that it's an open air package. This isn't necessarily aimed at collectors. This is more so a toy aimed at children's 4 and up. That's why it's packaged the way it is. If you're a child or if you're a parent, it's a much more attractive package. It looks more like a toy. It's something you're going to want to bring home to the kids, and or to your significant other if they're really into like the Avengers. So yeah, I'm excited about this figure. I've been looking for this for weeks. When I saw the Captain America Mech Strike suit a few weeks back, and I purchased that, I eventually got the Iron Man one, and then when I found out there was a Thanos one, I kind of lose my mind, and I was like, I haven't seen this yet. Where is it? So here I was running around trying to find this thing because, as silly as it may sound, you know, these are toys to their most core. There's nothing collectible or premium about them, and I lost my mind because it looked really cool from the photographs I saw. So for a few weeks, I was trying to hit up Targets in the morning whenever I had the chance, but it would never turn up. And then one day, this popped up on Amazon. A couple of third-party sellers were selling them. And their asking price, I think it might have been, the seller I bought it from was probably asking $15 over retail. And I bit the bullet because I just wanted to save my sanity. I got tired of driving around every morning trying to find this thing. And I mean, it's not like that I had stuff to do. I mean, I'd normally make my runs in the morning when I had to do grocery errands or before I started doing office work. I'm like, I have an hour to spare. I could go run to Walmart and see if they have toys, and I'd do that. And most of the time, I'd always come back home with something. I'd always find a new action figure, but this is the one I was kind of looking for. This or Castle Grayskull. And if you've seen my Castle Grayskull video, you'll know that I had bad luck trying to find that in the stores also. But here I am. Here we are, and I have Thanos and his Avengers Mech Strike armor. So let's take a look at it. In the package, the box is much bigger than the other ones. I'd say maybe about probably 15 to 25% larger than the previous boxes. The mech suit is definitely a lot larger than the Captain America one or the Iron Man one, and the figure is definitely a larger scale figure also. Over here we have the play feature. You can plop Thanos inside the armor, close it down. There's some beautiful artwork here in the lower right corner. It's very comic, anime-esque. On the sides of the box, you have a portrait of the armor. And on the back, you have a small little diagram over here of how Thanos fits inside. And here's Thanos. It's called his Infinity Mech Suit. So this is the Infinity Mech Suit. So let's read the quick description. Powered by massive mech strike armor, Thanos towers over the Avengers. Yes, yes he does. This is a big boy. It's a nice, big, hefty toy. And I'm going to take it out so we can play with it together. Okay, so first impressions as it's pulled out of the box and still remains in his cardboard tray. Very impressed. Alright, so if you're familiar with these toys already, you kind of know what to expect. The mech suit feels and looks very much like a toy that's made for children. You You know, there's probably going to be a couple of collectors looking at this thinking it looks like crap. But remember, this is not for you. This is aimed for kids ages 4 and up. I think if I was a child ages 4 and up, I'd be all over this. Hell, I'm a grown man, well past his 30s. I'll leave it at that, and this toy excites me. The Thanos figure by itself, it looks amazing. It's a little bit on the cartoony side with the face, but just by looking at it right now, the sculpting looks beautiful. It's a big figure. Unfortunately, I don't have my Marvel Legends Thanos figure on me, so I can't do a size comparison, but at the very least, maybe I can see how tall he is. I have a ruler here, and he stands about, looks like 7 inches tall. So he's an inch taller than your standard Marvel Legends, but at the same time, he's shorter than the Marvel Legends Thanos. But he looks incredible. The mech suit looks cool. Everything I'm looking at it, all the details look nice and crisp, but the sculpting's well done, and it looks awesome. I'm a fan of Transformers. I'm a fan of big-ass robots, and this definitely fits the bill as a big-ass robot, even though it's just a mech suit. And I can't wait to take it out, so let's get to it. One thing I noticed with this figure that was different from the Captain America and Iron Man mech suits is that this one doesn't require any assembly. The other figures you had to assemble the feet, but this one the feet look like they're already in place. And I need sharper scissors. I'm like using the dullest scissors on the planet. So I'm trying to figure out where all these stupid ties are at. So just bear with me for a moment as I try to free the armor, and then we'll do Thanos afterwards. Yeah, it's really, this toy is really put in there. There's no easy way of going about doing this. I could picture a lot of collectors wanting this just for the Thanos figure. Even though it's a more comic book cartoon kind of inspired design, it's a large figure. It's a very cool looking version of Thanos. And I want him out of this box so I can play with him. Alright, so there's some heft to this guy. He's nice and bulky. Look at that sculpt. It's beautiful. He has no infinity gauntlet, so but that's alright. I was just thinking right now about Thanos and how they marketed the Avengers movies. I think a clever catchphrase they should have used for their marketing is that there's only one villain who has the stones to take on the Avengers. You get it? Stones. I don't know. Balls. Bad jokes. I got them. Let's get this guy out. So this is what you expect. It's very hollow. As you can see, it folds open. This is probably like the king of like shampoo bottle figures, even though it's articulated. It's very hollow. It feels like what it looks like. I'll leave it at that. But I'm still excited that I have it. It looks cool. Man, this is badass. And let's take out his blades. The blades look like it's kind of reminiscent of the weapon he wielded in Endgame and in Infinity War. It's kind of like that double-ended spear or whatever the hell that was. Alright, we got that out. Let's move this out of the way. Alright, what should we look at first? First, actually, let me try to assemble this. I don't know how this thing goes together. Alright, so there's two blades here. They almost look like this almost looks like a handle, and there's two of them. And for some reason, I was kind of thinking maybe connect it to the figure somehow. I mean, you're supposed to connect the blades here onto his arm and they spin around, but part of me was thinking that maybe he had a C grip and maybe his hand could hold it, but that doesn't look like the case. I must consult the box real quick. So on the box, that's how the blade's assembled. So let's do that now. Alright, so there's socket, socket, peg, peg, and you match them up, press them together, and I don't know if there's a right way to do this or if there's a wrong way to do this. Okay, so the box, right? Because right now I'm trying to decide how I want the blades fanned out. Do I want them so that this end is facing the back, or do I want it so it's facing the front? And right now I'm conflicted because on the packaging here, they have it so the blades pointing down this way, whereas on the illustration of the toy, it's going the other way. So I guess there's no real wrong way to do it. It might be a case of preference. For me, I don't know how I want it. I kind of like it like this, with the blade, so it looks like it spins around this way. And there we go. Wow, it's a really, I'm surprised. It's a really snug fit. I kind of half expected that once I put this on here, just like spin around like a propeller, but it's very snug. You kind of need a little force to get it to rotate, which is nice because I don't want it just flapping around. Alright, so we have the Infinity suit assembled. And if you're wondering why they call it the Infinity suit, there's the Infinity gems right there. I don't call them stones, they're Infinity gems. And let's take a look at Thanos right now. So, it's like I said, I apologize for not having the Marvel Legends Thanos with me right now to review and compare against this. But I don't think we're going to mind as much. First off, it's a nice sculpt. If you look at his head, he has this smile on his face because, I don't know, he knows he's going to kick everyone's ass. The details sculpted really nice on his face. The crevices are nice and deep. His helmet has some nice tiny patterns on the top. The armor really surprised me. It's It's sculpted really nice. It's designed really nice. It's hard for the camera to catch the yellow correctly, so I need to pull it back just a little so the shadows can be casted on the detail. Paint application wise, very, 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 very little. There's some yellow on his torso that's painted just so it can connect the armor pieces. His face is painted, but you're looking at a figure that's going to be predominantly blue and this yellow. If you're a customizer, go to town, give this guy a metallic finish, and he'll look like he can hang with your Marvel Legends, despite the cartoony looking face. Articulation wise, his head turns, but his giant chin seems to hit his shoulder pad armor deal. His arms can rotate, but once again his armor is kind of hindering it. His arms can go out. He has bend at the elbow. His elbows swivel. He's a budget figure, so don't expect any like bicep cuts or waist swivel because there are none. Leg wise, he could kick up and he could kick out, which is nice. You can bend him at the knees. His boots spin around. Yeah, so this is a very, very nice figure. And here, let's take a look one last time real fast. Nice details, nice and crisp. For me, the price of admission was worth it just for this guy. I don't have enough Thanos figures, and I have I have a lot. Just leave it at that. You know, I can always use another Thanos in my collection. It's a very cool looking one. Like, if all you have in your collection is the MCU Thanos and then the Marvel Legends comic inspired one, that pretty much, you know, fills your need. You might stretch out and maybe grab the Marvel Select Thanos, which is actually really awesome, and it comes with death. But if you just want something a little bit more lighthearted, a little bit more cartoony, and it's still a little bit comic inspired, this is a really great Thanos figure to have. Now for the Infinity suit, I can't help, every time I look at it, the first thing I think of is Decepticon. There's parts of this that seems like it's a callback to the Decepticon logo. Like on his chest, there's the horns, the peaks. It almost looks like here's that center crest on the helm of the Decepticon logo. The face looks like very Transformer-esque. And he's boxy, he's bulky, he feels hollow. It's like I said, this is probably like the king of like shampoo bottle toys. You fold them open, and there's nice details sculpted into the inside. They didn't really necessarily have to go that far, but they did. And not much holds this together except for that one little hinge. Just like the Captain America and Iron Man mech suits. The sculpting is nice, the details crisp. This is a kind of fun feature. It kind of has this like propeller blade. You know, so if he's in the fields, farming like Thanos does, or if he wants to get crazy with the Avengers, he has this giant blaster. It's unfortunate that they don't cut the hole out deeper so it looks more like a barrel. You know, it just kind of recesses a very, very little bit, and then it's kind of capped off. It'd be nice if they, you know, or I mean, if you want, you could probably just drill it out yourself. On this arm, he has the Infinity gems, and you know, this is probably some form of the gauntlet. He has big ass feet, the knees, cool details sculpted throughout. On the back, very, very, very little paint. The only paint that you see is just what's on the arms, on his triceps. But otherwise, there's no paint on his back, no paint on the back of the legs or the feet. But that's okay. It's a bargain figure. It's like I say, with the bargain figures, you get what you pay for. Don't expect premium finishes. Don't expect a whole lot of articulation. But do expect a lot of fun because these are toys that are meant to be played with. And we're going to play with them right now as I open up his body armor. And we're going to drop Thanos inside. Spread his arms out. And so there's a peg right there, a socket right here. I'm just going to try to feel it out. I can't really see what I'm doing. Alright, it's kind of in there. For some of these figures, you don't need to depress the figure entirely onto the peg. It helps, but wow, he looks a little. He might be too tall for this. So his legs is okay. There we are. Well, so he's not plugged in. All right, I think he's plugged in now. Okay. And then let's close this. And it doesn't want to close. Alright, I'm confused. I'm very confused. He won't fit in here. His head gets in the way. This can't be. Maybe you have to bend him at the knees. Alright, I'm running into an issue here. I can't seem to get the peg to line up with the socket in his back. Every time I think I have it, it's not going in. Alright, so the peg here is not clean. It's not clean cut either. There's kind of some excess plastic flash around it. I don't want to modify it, but it seems like I might have to shave some of the plastic. I don't have to shave, like, cut the peg down, but there's like excess plastic on the sides, which is making it hard for the peg to fit into. I guess I could try forcing it in, but yeah, this doesn't, for some reason, this doesn't want to, it's a tight fit. And I'm not sure how deep the socket is. And the peg doesn't want to go in all the way. Alright, I'm going to perform some surgery here. Alright, so I'm not cutting the peg off. I'm just shaving the excess plastic on the side. Just so it's, could go on a little bit smoother. You know, just remember, this is a budget toy, so it's not like this is like super engineered or anything like that. Alright, I think that's an okay job. Alright, this does not want to plug in. This is bumming me out. This is... I can't close this now. Will it close? Alright, this won't close unless he's fully depressed into it, and I can't get that in there. Alright, there it is. I've heard it click in. Alright, let's try to get this armor lined up. So something's like hitting this. I don't know if the head's too big or something, but it doesn't want to close all the way. I'm not sure if I'm aligning the panels correctly. This is a big figure, so I apologize if I get cut out of frame sometimes. Alright, let me see what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. So the issue I was running into is the sole of his foot kept on hitting the bottom of the armor and it wouldn't fall into place. Alright, so I got him in. I had to make sure that his back was completely plugged into the socket and as far as it could go in. And then you just close it down, and then there's tabs there's tabs right here, and then the lock into the feet, and that kind of keeps it shut. So what we have here is a very, very serious Thanos in some heavy-duty mech armor. It's cool. Once Thanos is inside, it feels a little bit heavy. He kind of fills it up so the toy doesn't feel as hollow. There's some articulation with the arms. There's no articulation with the legs. Doesn't matter. You don't need it. This is great. It's like some sort of crazy power suit. And it wouldn't be complete if we compared them to... I'm not going to be able to fit these all on camera at once, but here's the Iron Man one, and here's the Thanos one. So you can kind of see him trying to get him level by the foot, and the Thanos one just completely dwarfs Iron Man, as he should. Here's the Captain America mech suit, and we'll try to compare height again, and as you can see, Thanos completely dwarfs him also. And if you have these toys, you kind of know that these are kind of big figures also. So the Thanos one is just, it's ginormous, it's huge. Let's get Thanos out of here. So yeah, you have to plug. All right, so the pegs here. Just make sure if you get this that when you plug Thanos in, you go far as deep as possible into the socket, just so his head will rest on here, and that'll allow for the top to close perfectly fine. So everything could go, like all the panels, once it's closed, it can remain flush. And this is a very soft plastic. This isn't a plastic that if you drop, it's gonna shatter. It's like I said, it feels like a shampoo. It kind of feels like a slightly more rigid than a shampoo bottle. All right, so here's the armor. Here's Thanos. So if I had to rate the figure numerically on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say probably an 8.5. 8.5 to a very low 9. And that's mostly just based off on the size. I'm just really impressed that they gave us a budget toy that's for kids that's this big. Normally, like with toys that are this large, they're normally reserved for, like, you know, that play school line of figures. And this is cool. I kind of dig this a lot. I mean, if you're into the more sophisticated, you know, older toys and collectibles, this is something you're probably gonna scoff at. But if you like this, if you like stuff that's just fun and badass, and you know, have no problem with accepting the fact that this is a toy, especially a budget toy aimed at little kids, you're gonna have a field day with this thing. I mean, I think it's beautiful. The figure alone, for me, it's like I said, the figure alone is worth the price of admission. It's cool to have this iteration of Thanos. He's happy, he's wearing armor, he's ready to take over the universe and decimate the Avengers. So it's fun. I like this a lot. The mech suit is just, it's just gravy, you know, it just adds more to the experience, and this is what the whole Mech Strike line's about. It's about mechs. You know, granted, these aren't going to be like as sophisticated as like a Gundam or a Transformer, but if you're a kid, it's a fun introduction to the world of robots and integrating them into the world of superheroes, as you get to combine Captain America with his mech suit, Iron Man with his mech suit, and Thanos with his. I'm still keeping my fingers crossed that hopefully one day we'll get a Hulk mech suit and a Black Panther one, but only time will tell. So let's wrap this up. Great figure. Definitely worth the purchase if you see it. As I've mentioned, I haven't seen this at any of my Walmarts. I've seen the Cap, I've seen the Iron Man, but I've never seen this one at all. So I don't know how you know, how easy it is to come by. But if you see it, just pick it up. Even just for this is worth the price of admission alone. You'll be glad that you have a very different, very new, and very unique Thanos in your collection. He's smaller than the Marvel Legends one, but at the same time, he's an inch taller than your average Marvel Legends figure. So you could kind of fudge him into the line, to say it's like Thanos Jr. or something. So that's pretty much it. My name's Lou. I know this was a very clumsy video. I had a hard time trying to get Thanos into here. That probably took up like a third of the video. But I hope you found this informative, entertaining, and if you're on the fence about getting this figure, don't be. Just climb over the fence and get him. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and feel free to stop by anytime. Take care.